Faith in God Ministries International is a web of churches and strategic ministries engulfing the world with the gospel of the kingdom of God. Through its strategic ministry called Operation Hope or PH, gives assistance to the disadvantaged members of the community.
Big boys, trousers only, shorts, and then ladies clothing, and then tops, mixed men and women. So some of them we can't really tell. So then we go through them later, and also just tops and small jackets. My name is Kiko Nkulumo. I'm the head of the Operation Hope department in F.I.G.M.I Assembly, which is a member of Faith in God Ministries. Operation Hope, in actual fact, is a Faith in God initiative. In other words, this department exists in all churches that are affiliated to Faith in God Ministries. This particular Operation Hope looks at the southern region, in other words, the Eagle Life Assembly, which is headed by Prophet CHIZA.
These include orphans, widows and widowers, and the people living with disabilities.
Vision number 4 of Eagle Life Assembly talks about being a financial powerhouse for the assistance of widows, orphans, the elderly, and all less privileged members of the community. So being a financial powerhouse means having sufficient funding to be able to assist whoever is in need in our community. All these clothes have been donated by members of our church and even outsiders. They've donated various items of clothing, that is for men, for ladies, for children. What we are doing here right now is to sort out these clothes into categories. Some people sometimes donate torn clothes, and those which are unusable, we'll be discarding those, and those which need washing, we'll be taking them for washing, and also categorizing them in terms of sizes for men, for boys, for girls, and for women. But most of them will be thrown away because we can't give useless things away. Some of these are dirty clothes but which are okay, but which need to go for washing. So just create those categories so that's it.
Alright, thank you.
Alright. And then we'll get on to shoes later on. Let's start with clothing. And also you'll note that there's a lot of shoes as well, so we'll try and separate men's shoes from women's shoes and children's shoes as well.
When I came to Eagle Life, I heard that there is Operation Hope, so I told myself, now I'm going to join this department.
My name is Jabulani Ngolwe. I'm a member of OPH by default, for I wanted to avoid being a member. The HOD had tried to canvass me, but I avoided it many times, but I find myself here today.
It's not just a department, but it's a ministry. Yeah. So I love OPH. I used to go to Anglican church, and when I was a youth, I would go out with other youth to help the elderly, to maybe go to the grinding mill, helping them, fetching water, washing clothes for them. It's in me. Then when I started working, I used to support Ekuphumuleni, it's an old people's home. So I'll just buy meal, so just a few things, and they will really appreciate.
While this is an ongoing program throughout the year, every year on 30 April, all these people are invited to the church to celebrate the birthday of the man of God, Prophet Blessing CHIZA.
Most of the clothing will be donated on the Prophet's birthday, the 30th of April. On this particular day, we are visited by a lot of members of the community who are disadvantaged.
In the past years, the number of attendees have been over 1,000 in 2013 and over 700 in 2014.
Widows, the elderly, disabled persons, orphans, they first have lunch with our Prophet. After that, such items as clothing are donated to them.
On this day, these disadvantaged members of the community not only share lunch with the man of God, but go back home with hampers consisting of food and other gifts. After this, the man of God visits one or more of the orphanages or homes within Brewer and hands over food and other items that may be available.
In Operation Hope, one of its primary objectives, like we stated, that is the social responsibility wing of the church, intends to empower disadvantaged members of the community, not just by donating the things to them, but by ensuring that in future they are able to look after themselves. To this end, Operation Hope is going to be partnering with international donors and even local corporate bodies in order to build up its base of funding to be able to fund projects for youth, orphans, for widows, so that they are able to then create their own income to look after themselves.
Where even the able-bodied people are finding hard to make ends meet, donations in the form of food and clothing to OPH are most welcome.
If we look at the economic situation prevailing in this country, in particular in Bulawayo, where a lot of industries have closed down, a lot of people are unemployed. So a lot of breadwinners are actually unemployed. And because of also the ravages of HIV and AIDS, a lot of homes in our city are headed by children whose parents have died because of HIV and AIDS. And also, we also find a situation where those people, disabled people who normally have been taken care of by their relatives who are employed, are finding themselves unable to survive because those people who took care of them previously are no longer able to do so. So there is a serious need.
Without God in you, you can't do this. You really can't.
I made a visit to one family in Luveve where it was a sorry sight. It was a family which is headed by a 14-year-old boy who is the only member of that family who is not sick. the mother is sick with HIV, the sister is sick with HIV, and the child of the sister is sick. So we find that that 14-year-old boy is the only child that is actually in a healthy state, but he has to go around begging from houses for food, for clothing. So those kind of situations are the kind of situations that we really want to address. And we, as Operation Hope, we hope to assist such kind of children in terms of giving them maybe assistance to go into school and further their education, and also give them something, some sort of project that they can do in order to sustain the family.
So people out there, please, we pray, come and join us, come and join OPH. And you know what, God's love widows and orphans, for whosoever touches them, God's eye.
So I'm asking all the eagles to have an open heart. Just be impulsive. Don't think, don't pray, don't fast. Just dip your hand in your pocket and just whatever comes out, you'll be doing it for God, not for someone or for the prophet, but you're just doing it on your own, or for your own in heaven. It is noticed.
Operation Hope also intends to make regular visits to all disadvantaged members in their own homes. This is not only to check that their level of need for assistance, but also to minister to them, because we believe that when we say Operation Hope, it's not just hope for food or for clothing, but hope for Christ as well, because the intention is to bring these people to know Christ. So by visiting them, we'll also be preaching to them, ministering to them, making sure that as they receive whatever assistance they receive from us, but they also get closer to Christ.
In the past year, the homes and orphanages that has been blessed by the men of God include King George VI, St. Francis, and Tembisa Children's Home.
Sustainable initiatives that we want to engage in, particularly as we approach winter now, particularly of clothing. As we approach winter, we find that some kids have nothing to wear. So we are stepping in to give people hope where there is no hope.